So, hello guys, welcome or welcome back to the KP show. We are here with the day 3 review of the fourth test of the ongoing Border Gavaskar Trophy between India and Australia. So, the day started with India at 164 for 6. The day ends with India at 358 for 9. Nitish Reddy getting to a brilliant 100, ably supported by Washington Sundar with 50 runs. Jadeja, he spent a bit of time on the crease, couldn't get too many, but he played around 8 overs. And in this game, batting time was the most important thing. So, to get you through to whatever happened this day, we are here. Pratik, what were your thoughts on the day?
When the day started, we were discussing if Rishab Pant gets through the first hour of play, then it would be very easy for him to score some runs, and that will be very quick as well. He did all the hard work, but just at the stroke of 1 hour, he played that unusual shot and got out. And I thought that's pretty much it. But I had high hopes on Nitish Reddy. And finally, he came out to bat and scored a beautiful 100. And also, kudos to Washington Sundar. He held the fort and played a lot of deliveries, like 150, 155 balls he played. Although he didn't score too many runs, but the time he spent on gives us a very good position in the game.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned before, time was the most essential part of this game because 164 for 5, kind of a scenario where we were looking at losing this test match, but the partnership between Nitish and Sundar ensured that at least I would say we won't lose this test match, in my opinion. Of course, cricket is a game of uncertainties and anything could happen. But looking at the pitch, I don't think there was anything difficult, to be honest. If you look at the fall of wickets as well in today's day, whatever happened, Rishabh Pant's dismissal was just, I mean, Sunny Ji on air was pretty livid, and I understand if people have that kind of a reaction to his dismissal. For me personally, from whatever I've seen Rishabh Pant, you know my thoughts on him. He is just that kind of a player who will do these kind of things that'll almost make you wanna break your TV. But it is what it is with Rishabh Pant. What were
But
your
that
thoughts?
thing, but I have said it time and time again, that won't work every time. And most of the times it is going to fail, which is happening right now. On the big stage against a quality opposition, these things are not going to help you out. And also it's not going to help your team out. So I agree with Sunny Ji on this point and the way he called it out. Because it's been a long time. Rishabh Pant is in the international circuit for like 6 years now, or maybe 7 years. So
Yes.
I think it's high time he should recalculate his methods because this tour has been a big failure for him so far. Not even a single 50 so far from him, batting at number 5. The major difference between both the sides have been the number 5. Travis Head has scored two massive hundreds, a 90 in Perth, and on our side, Rishabh is not able to even score a quality 30-40 runs. Even if he scored 30-40 runs, at least you will find one catch dropped. So that is bad batting and bad calculation from his side every time. And it has to be called out, and I agree with Sunny on this.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but for me, my only criticism for Rishabh would be, okay, you want to place those extravagant shots, no problem, play them, but ensure that you play those shots when there are no fielders placed there. For example, today the area that he was targeting, he was trying to clear the field. There were already two fielders there. Let's say he had connected that, maybe it would have gone for six. But let's say if he had mistimed that, it could have been a catch out. So I think this is where he can be a bit more calculative. And at least if you're taking a risk, ensure that you take those risks when there are no fielders in place. I think that would be the only criticism from my side. But I do understand where you're coming from or what Saniji was saying, and you're not wrong, is what I would say. Now moving on from Rishabh, you could see Jadeja's dismissal. I wouldn't say it's Jadeja's fault. He was having a lot of trouble facing Nathan Lyon, as you expect that he would, because he's a left-hander, and the off spinner would definitely trouble him. That's what happened. He again, Lion also got rid of Washington Sundar. But having said that, I did not see any demons in the surface, even from a spinner. The wickets that Lion got was due to his own quality bowling. He made sure that he got enough bounce from the surface. That was the only thing using which he could trouble the batters. So I think it's good news in a way that the pitch is not going to deteriorate too much. It's a drop in surface, and the temperatures are also not that high as it was the case in, let's say, a Perth or a Brisbane. So I think the pitch is going to stay good for batting, as it was the case in Gabba in the last tour. So something like that is on the cards, at least from a conditions perspective. Of course, it depends on how we bat, the way we bat, and how Australia bats as well. Because again, if the pitch is not helping, how will our bowlers take 10 wickets? That is a problem.
The thing is, if from an Australian point of view, if you will ask me, I think they missed a trick here. Today, they could have easily bundled out India within 1.5 sessions. And I was expecting that short ball barrage from Cummins and Co. But thankfully, it didn't happen. And because of that, we are in a good situation right now. Because Reddy was having issues with the short ball as well, if you see. Also, Jadeja and Pant, we all know they have some issues. Or, in fact, most of the subcontinent players have the issue with the short ball incoming. So, thankfully, Australia didn't go for that route.
In the first session, they did go for the short ball. I wouldn't say they went for the short ball barrage, but they did attempt the short ball, especially to Jadeja. But like I mentioned, Jadeja did not score too many runs, but he encountered those short deliveries very well. It was Lion that troubled him, but he did put out those short deliveries.
For Australia, I think they will have to bat 2.5 sessions tomorrow because early in the day, I mean, I don't know how long Siraj or Reddy can hold the fort, but maybe another 10-15 runs before we see them getting bundled out. And Australia will have a lead of somewhat like 110, and they will play for another 2.5 sessions. They will, because if you see towards the end of the day, we see clouds every time, and the ball starts to do something of the surface. And I think that will be the best time for their bowlers to bowl as well. And with the shaky top order like ours, in shaky in the sense, you know whom I am referring to here. So they will have their best chances when the lights go a bit dim and the surface starts to behave a bit. So I think that will be their best chance as well, and that is going to be the story of the game. I don't see Australia going out and saying that we are going to play a T20 game and we'll just stomp your bowlers all around, because they also know we have the pitch is very good, and something like a 300 or even 330 can be chased down here, similar to Gabba in 2021. So
Yeah.
they have to be very careful of that fact as well.
Yes. I think I would also approach this. Okay, for the first 30 overs when we have the ball in hand, because it's a new ball, you would want to take wickets, approach it like a test match. But after that, once the ball gets old, I would say we can approach this game like a one day game, and try to cut the flow of runs. Okay, if we are getting wickets, then that's absolutely fine. But if we are not able to get wickets, then we should take it like a one day game, and we should just cut the flow of runs, because Australia will not declare unless they have enough runs on the board. That is for sure. So if we are not able to get wickets, cut the flow of runs. Definitely they will try something fancy, and that will result in wicket. So
See,
that will be
very
my approach.
very clear strategy. If you remember, there was a test match from Australia in Pakistan in 2022 when Australia visited Pakistan. So the first two test matches were a draw. The third test match, or Pakistan were batting fourth. I mean, batting in the fourth innings. They were given a target of somewhat like 330 or 360 runs, and they had a allotted play of 100 overs. Just before the break of, means like 1 hour was remaining of the fourth day, Pat Cummins declared, saying that we need 100 overs to bowl them out, and they bowled them out in 80 overs. So I think it is going to be a replay of the same strategy tomorrow as well, the same approach, because the pitch is very similar to what we find in the flat decks here in the subcontinent with a bit more bounce. So I think the script is going to be the same. India has to bat well to as they have so far in this innings to save the test match, or
Definitely,
even
definitely.
go on to win, depending how well we bowl tomorrow.
Definitely. I think we will push for a win if we are in that situation, but completely depends on what is the target. If let's say the target is around 320 on the final day, definitely India is going for the win. I can assure you that. But again, even when you do that, you have to be careful and take out the new ball. I think Nitish Reddy and Washington Sundar, they provided a masterclass on how to play the new ball. If Jaiswal and KL already did not show the way to the other Indian batters, they should take lessons from Nitish and Washington. They
I
encountered
think
20-25 overs of the new ball. But I think it also played to their advantage that they were already well set by that point of time. But either way, either way, if these guys can do it, the others can also pretty much do it. So they have to be careful with the new ball, and then once the ball gets old, it's there for the scoring.
the thing is, you have to be very calculative playing against Australia. You can't just go out and talk the ball all around the park, because these are quality bowlers, and it's a very they have a very astute strategy against each of the players. If you see,
Yeah,
there are barely any loose deliveries you will find,
yeah.
and
And today also
they
when
have
the
not
partnership,
they have their plans very well set. So you have to be very calculative going forward. It's not like that I will go out there and I'll start smashing, so they will fall off their plan and they will do something silly so that I can encash. That is not going to happen against Australia. They know all the possibilities, and we know that.
what I see is the difference between the two sides is Australia comes in with a plan to every new batter, to every batter rather, and they try it out when the batsman is very new to the crease, and somehow or some way we falter to their plan and give away our wicket. That's what has happened. On the contrary, India is just bowling and bowling and bowling. They are not having any plans. Whenever we've had plans, for example, Travis had dismissal, which Bumrah got in the first innings. That was a plan. So when you plan, you are getting those results more often than not. Now the second part is uh, even Australia, if the plan does not work early on, even they are opening the field and they are also trying their luck. If you had noticed, after their partnership was developing between Nitish and Sundar, so we can also encash on that. But the main point is bad time. And I heard an interview from Sundar, that was what the dressing room had told them, that you guys need to bat time. That's what they did. And once you bat time in Australia, you give yourself the chance of scoring runs. One last comment I would say about Nitish Reddy. I really like the way he batted. Of course, everybody has seen the technique that he has shown against both the spinners and pacers. The way he negated the new ball, the Cummins tried to trouble him a lot, I would say, but he was very good in even while leaving the ball. He showed class. He showed the right technique, and it was an amazing 100. But what stood out for me was when he was on 97, he refused to take three singles when Bumrah was batting. The last ball he attacked. They took a two, but that was like more of Bumrah running because Bumrah had already crossed the half crease. So Nitish had no option but to run the two. Otherwise, he would have taken the strike in the next over, and probably Bumrah wouldn't have gotten out so early. So that was just one brain fart, I would say, from Bumrah. But here the credit goes to Nitish Reddy. The way he's thinking to shield the tail ender. He's not thinking about his individual milestone, which is very commendable in my opinion. And tomorrow, I'm just hoping Siraj and Nitish, they play on at least for, let's say, 5-10 overs. I just hope Siraj stays at the crease so we get those 30-40 extra runs, which could completely be game changing in my opinion.
Yeah, any whatever happens, we have to bat the entire fifth day. So means
Yeah,
whatever is the
that's
final score that we are chasing, may it be 280, may it be 350, or whatever is it is. So we need to think in that way, and we have to
Yeah, it's good.
calculate it in a way.
It's going to be a very interesting day tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Hope India
Yeah.
does well. And with that thought, we will close this video. And yeah, hope you guys like this video, and consider subscribing to our channel if you like our videos. Share it to your friends, and see you in the next video. Up until then, ciao.